All right, welcome back to another session of Renaissance of the Antiquities, session 38. Last we left off with our heroes. Once some music is had. Last we left off with our heroes, or group, I suppose, not quite heroes, perhaps. They were traveling from Opportunity to Holden Keep, where they were waylaid by the maelstrom of the fall, undergoing massive buffets of winds and storms that forced them to find and take shelter, which they did in a nearby cavern that seemed to be home, a recent home, to some sort of scuffle, as there was a dead bugbear found alongside a dead owlbear. A few days went on before trails of blood and prints were found leading away from the site. Apparently there had been survivors. And so Reginald and Nithyrn went to investigate this track, just in the event that they found anything interesting. Where they came across a camp filled with many more bugbears, in addition to a human, we later found to be the name of Jarius, where they had a caged baby owlbear. Coming back with this news, the group immediately decided in the middle of the night to go and investigate this camp more quickly, perhaps even rescuing the owlbear from these hunters. A very strange scenario broke out of this incredibly tense situation between being on the brink of combat, but also trying to talk each other down. As Reginald tried to protest for the group to back off and return, others of their party either still being unseen or Fizz roaming around the outskirts trying to enact various plans of his own, kept throwing the tension back up, and eventually Wizrun came to the scene after hearing some of the noise, having been left on the outskirts just in the event of some sort of scuffle, which caused yet another tension and a very small and brief fight between him and a bugbear. Neither were seriously injured, and again, the diplomacy and talks of both sides were able to back down from any sort of conflict. It seemed almost as if the bugbears were getting fed up with this diplomacy their leader Jarius was attempting to do, and nearly attacked of their own accord. But through some shouting in Goblin, the situation was quelled. There was a conversation had with Jarius that followed at his camp over a few drinks and apologies to the miscommunication of the encounter. It was found out that him and his bugbear bandits are working for Lord Holden of Holden Keep, capturing strange creatures and hybrid animals and bringing them back to him for some unknown reason. And that Jarius was working with these bugbears in a very upstanding sense, attempting to prevent them from their evil natures and from raiding and finding lives that would be harmful to those around them, and was trying to work with them toward a greater cause. Although that is fairly evident that that is a tenuous relationship at best. After a bit of talks, it was agreed that the two groups would travel together for the last leg toward Holden Keep, about a week's worth of journey for 10 days. A few choice words and decisions were also said about Fizz and his relations. Some of his family ongoings came up at a certain point when asked if anyone by the Wondrous was known of Jarius, where he had indeed heard of a Fizz, Frederick Irikaz the Wondrous, that was wanted for murder in Holden Keep, among perhaps other things. Keeping this to himself, though, the night went on and they returned back to their camp, but not before Raoul sensed an astron of an element close to his nature nearby and pinpointed its location to be within or on or near the owlbear. The large, not the baby, but the large owlbear that they had behind the camp in a much larger and more stable cage. While this owlbear was gravely wounded, Reginald threw some bombs at it and brought it up to a bit more of health, reducing the risk that it dies in the transit and travel, but not so much that it could perhaps become a problem. And so, everyone was back at camp, letting the last few days of the maelstrom pass just to be sure that no more inclement weather would stop or hinder your journeys. When, on the second to last day of the maelstrom, a clear day for the first part of the afternoon, while you were all out and about in camp, there was suddenly a large cracking sound, like thousands of windows being shattered from up above, booming and overwhelming your ears. And as everyone looked up, for at least those who were outside to see it, it looked as if the sky itself was being torn apart and the clouds scattered, as giant, thin, white lines split like spider webs or a broken window across the sky itself. And this is where we will pick up, but we'll pick it up with a fortitude save from everybody, as the sound of the cracking and quake in the sky threatens to potentially deafen. I guess, Nithian, you don't have to make it. Deafen those.
That's where I was gonna go, but keep going.
Okay. Fortitude. Fortitude.
Handicap protection.
God damn it.
Oof.
I roll one now.
Hey! Probably not good enough.
I have a fucking +8 to my fortitude saves.
Yeah.
All right, get it out early.
Tim, you've rolled the most ones I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking too. Let's go back and looking at them.
All
I rolled
right,
a
so
2.
Reginald and Raoul, the two of you are deafened for a day.
No. Arjit doesn't mind. He can sign language.
As most of you can.
Raoul only can understand a few words though, so I don't know what percent we're putting him at.
He's been learning for a number of weeks now. I'm sure he's close to getting to the point where he can understand, for the most part, what people are saying.
Good.
Perhaps just some of the finer details need to be worked out over time a little bit more. So, the sky cracks and quakes and shatters overhead, and over the course of the next few hours, that will slowly start to subside and return to normal as clouds begin to re-condense in the air above, sparsely. Other than that, it's a clear day. And ever so occasionally, some of you catch glimpses of what look like clouds or puffs of smoke or wisps high up in the air. But they seem to be moving unnaturally. Not floating like a cloud normally would, but moving with intention and direction. Scattering off out of these skyquakes from the lines themselves down to the lands below.
Oh, so they're moving downwards from the sky down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this happens over the course of the day, where you'll catch one every now and then. Perhaps sometimes in a group of 2 or 3.
I point that out to Novromery and write down. Is that what your stealth systems look like?
Hmm. You do not understand these motions you make with your hands. Oh, you
No,
write
I
down.
wrote
So.
that
He thinks for a moment and begins to write in response, since you can't hear, as he cannot do the sign language, and you cannot read lips. But he writes down in response. he writes down in response. No, it is not what our cloaking looks like. You would not see it in that manner. It is something else.
All right. Nice.
How do the animals react?
I mean, in general, pretty terrified for a while.
Okay. I mean, does it look like they can't hear? I mean, I don't know how I would know that, I guess. So, because I've been training them with a bell.
Yeah, when you go to use the bell in your training today, a couple of the dogs don't really react to the bell at all. Okay. And they're laying about whimpering throughout the day. It does seem as if the animals have been affected.
Okay, that's what I was after. So I will cease my training with the horses for the day and just focus on making sure everything stays around camp.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go check on Towing Squirrel.
Towing Squirrel's doing fine.
Yeah. His con is higher than all of ours, so I continue with my training on him.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything over the course of this second to last day of the Maelstrom before the journey begins on the road yet again?
Raoul doesn't do anything, but he's yelling the whole time.
Which doesn't bother me at all.
Might bother Wizroom.
We don't know if Wizard can hear.
I'm gonna take that book that I started writing and see if I can find a loose panel in the caravan and stash it inside somewhere. Somewhere.
Wizard can hear. Okay.
Oh, poor Wizard. Random dragon yelling in his ear.
Are you saying something?
Just shoot! Be gone, lizard! Take your yelling elsewhere!
I can't hear anything.
Points at you, points out of the cave.
Ah! He'll walk outside the cave and hang upside down from a tree branch for a bit.
Excellent.
Trying to get the blood flowing to the brain to come up with new ideas.
And maybe it'll fix the ears too at the same time, right?
There is one other thing. Do we have any like locked chests or anything?
Maybe
just rude.
if I get a tube shoved down my ear far enough, I can hear something.
Oh boy.
Good thing RJ doesn't hear this.
And that was the day that we lost Raoul.
Self-inflicted TPK.
Fizz, are you asking Drix this question, or are you just rooting around the caravan looking for such a thing?
Drix, do we have any? Do we have any?
Haven't gotten any locked stuff really. I just kind of keep it all up sacks up top. But this is a great time to show you one of the little nifty things that I put in the cart while we were on opportunity. Come this way, friend. Come this way.
Okay.
And he leads you back to the cart. And he opens the front door on the side of the cart, beckons you in. Because now the door is open, right?
Yeah.
If you look down below at our feet, just in front of the door, you'll see right here at the edge, where just on either side of the door meets the wall, there's these little grooves where you can kind of stick your fingers in. Try and give them a pull.
Is this gonna hurt me, Drix?
No, it's not gonna hurt you.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
You crouch down and tug on it a bit. Nothing moves. But you can feel there's a little bit of give, like something should be able to move. He says, now, close the door and try again.
Okay, I'll close the door and try again.
And as you lift or push a little, you can feel that the floor beneath you, and you have to kind of move to get off of it a bit, gives way and a hatch slides open. And that there's an empty space beneath the floor here, big enough for a fairly sized person to crawl into and perhaps lay there and then slide the lid back over. Said, now I made this little hiding spot in case anything ever gets hot and bothered and so we get into some stuff, I, myself, or perhaps someone else, what we are carrying of import, could, hide from the danger. And if the door's open, the hatch won't open.
That's a good thing. Is there a way for the person inside to open it?
Yeah. I mean, this same little finger hole is over there by the wall. You just
Okay.
pop your fingers back in there. Might be a little difficult if someone's standing on top of it, but
Or if the door is still open.
Yeah, well, I suppose. I suppose that was a bit of a design flaw.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we'll hook a little string up to the bottom of the doorway. I'll put like a screw in there or something. I'll tie a little string and I'll feed it through one of the holes. So if the door is open, you just pull the string from the inside and it'll shut the door. I'll work on that today.
Won't people notice the string? I mean, I don't have a problem with it not working.
I mean, if you got a better idea, I'm all ears.
No, I think it's fine. As
we'll put it on the hinge side. Might be a little hard to pull, but it'll be like just a short little string.
Okay.
It'll be very, very unnoticeable.
Okay.
Someone say ideas. I'm really wondering. I thought I heard that word.
Why is he yelling?
I don't think he can hear us.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Well, if we're trying to...
He's still hanging upside down from the tree.
I suppose if we're trying to limit who knows about this compartment, that's a good thing.
Well, as of now, me and you know about it. Also, if you're in here, there's a little side thing you can slide on the inside, and I put like a couple of rations, in the event I found myself trapped in here for a couple days. I'd have something to eat and a little bit of a drink.
Well, at least you've thought about the food.
I like this idea.
Not about the results of said food.
When we get to the next place, we'll write down your ideas. I'm always open to ideas, and we'll get some of the money and we'll make some adjustments. But
Okay.
this is the first prototype. It's bound to have a little bit of this and that.
Yeah. Room for improvement.
Indeed. And improve this carriage we will.
Yeah. Well, thank you for showing me that, Drix.
Of course. But that's probably the closest thing we got to a lockbox on here. Unless all y'all have something on board, but not that I put on.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get locks. I'll get locks too next time. I just figured, wooden doors, wooden windows. Someone really wants in, they're just gonna get in. I don't really see the need for locks, but I suppose it's better than nothing.
Well, locks for maybe some of the containers. We've got that metal box that RJ puts a bunch of stuff in. It's a little
true.
bit bigger. That could probably use a lock on it.
I will write down some notes. Well, in my head, because I can't really. I'll draw some pictures of some notes. I do like drawing diagrams.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll talk to you later, Drix.
All right. Shortly thereafter, Fizz, you see Drix with a spool of string, eyeing the doorway and messing around with it.
Maybe if I get a big funnel that centers all the sound into one little pinpoint hole, it will collect itself and focus into my ear. Drix!
He screams out loud to himself. You yell for Drix, he comes over. You see him talking.
Funnel! Funnel! No, funnel! Tube! Ah! I can't hear you. Get out of here. Not helping me.
And he walks off. Anything else for anybody? All right. So, by around sundown, all of those cracked lines in the sky have dissipated. You see no more errant, moving clouds or wisps of smoke. And things have returned to normal. And by evening, it is a nice night, cool. The temperatures are starting to drop more and more as night wanes into. And everyone finds themselves to sleep and at rest for the night. In the evening, however, before everyone fully goes to sleep, Drix, well, hell. Nithir, you can understand me. You got a minute? Alright. So, since tomorrow should be the last day of the Maelstrom, once whatever sort of crazy weather starts, we should know what it's going to be like. And if it's good or bad, we might be able to head out a little earlier. So I figured with all your, fancy hand things, you can let the others know. I know some of them still can't hear. So, yeah. But think it over, and I suppose we'll figure it out tomorrow.
Okay,
and
so I will go to RJ and sign that, saying that Drix says if the maelstrom isn't really bad, we could maybe get started tomorrow. We probably would have to let I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Let Darius know, or Or just wait till he shows up. I don't know what we want to do. But just want to let you know Drix is getting things ready.
Understood. Well, it all really depends on how the weather goes on tomorrow.
Did you use the mirror?
That's true.
Somebody? Is that from 1 day or 2 days? I can't remember.
That was 2 days ago. Here, I'll write something down for Wizroom to tell Drix. And I write down, tell Drix to check mirror, please. And I hand it over to Wizroom.
Yep. There goes the Drix. And he comes back about 10 minutes later. Drix said some weird stuff.
Oh?
They said it was raining. But that it was raining backwards, whatever that means.
Sounds like a stay in the cave day.
They didn't say nothing about lightning, but
might be best
that's
to
what he
stay in
said.
the cave. And alright, did you hear anything else besides did you hear anything interesting throughout the day? I've been kind of incapacitated and can't hear anything.
He writes back, I haven't been able to hear a damn thing or concentrate over fucking Raoul's yelling all day.
Was he hurt?
No. He's just screaming out loud every fucking thought that comes into his head. Like he went deaf and then forgot he could just think.
Could he think?
Hell if I know. Isn't that always the question with those types?
Yeah. Well, if you hear anything during the night, can you make sure you wake us up?
Yep, I will.
Alright.
And after you guys are done writing back and forth on the paper, he says, can I take this?
Sure.
You see him flick his fingers and it catches fire, burning away the evidence of what was written.
Wine tastes very well tonight.
And then he walks away with his ears hands cupped over his ears. All right. So you all find yourselves to rest and wake the following morning, well rested. Now, for those of you who, upon waking up, venture outside, you quickly understand what Drix meant. As it feels like it's raining when you go outside, but the water droplets are hitting the undersides of your arm, going up and hitting your chin and the underside of your nose. And you can see all of the rain droplets from wherever they're coming from, the ground itself, almost as if it's being sucked out. It's all just drifting and floating back up into the sky at the same sort of pace it would rain, but a light rain.
Interesting water.
Do you guys trust it?
What's the worst that could happen?
Pretty sure you could
Fly
drown
into
in
the
this.
sky.
You might be able to drown in it if it goes into your nostrils in a sufficient quantity.
But okay, so yesterday I was thinking of an idea. Where you put the tube in your ear
No.
to help you hear better.
No,
Think
you're
that's a
gonna
bad
damage your
idea.
ears that way.
Okay. So, same idea, but put the tube in your nose.
So you get more water up your nose?
Why the nose?
That's
You
just
point it up.
gross.
You point it up.
No,
So-
I'm staying in the cave today.
It could work underwater too. It could be a new way to breathe underwater.
I don't want to breathe underwater though.
I also came up with another idea. Because I couldn't hear anything, it was actually kind of peaceful. But I didn't like the idea of not being able to hear at the same time. So how about some type of device that covers your ears so you can silence out the outside noise, but can take it off when you don't like it anymore?
Bro, it might have been peaceful for you, but that at least sounds like a nice idea.
I think there's something like that already, Raoul.
I've never seen it. Going in my notes. He has a notepad of like ideas that he comes up with all the time.
Oh yeah.
And on the topic of ears, Dracath don't have ears. They have ear holes on the side of their head, like dragons. Just as a fun note there.
Yeah.
So, consensus is we're staying inside the cave?
I'm staying inside the cave.
Unless he shows up, we could take a cue from our new friends.
True. He seems to be very more knowledgeable about the wilderness than we are.
Kind of what I was thinking.
Unless they're all dead.
What would have killed them?
Why would they
The
be killed?
lightning.
Wasn't that a couple days ago? And he came by the camp after the lightning.
I don't know. That shattery thingy that happened yesterday, maybe that did something, I don't know.
Are you sure you want to go to Holden Keep, Fizz?
Ah. It's Malin, remember it's Malin.
Well, he's not here, so you're Fizz.
Yeah, but you guys need to get practice so that you
Yeah,
don't
I was like,
accidentally
yeah,
screw up.
practice. The sign
Sure.
for Mal is completely different than Fizz.
Yeah.
Sure, Mal.
That goes for you too, Dritz, and
I was about to say,
Henry.
Drix is walking by as you're saying this. He's like, "Why the hell are we talking about? You're calling? You're not male."
I'm Mal in how we talk about that. I'm wanted in Holden.
Oh
That's not my
yeah.
name. Call me Mal. Mal the Magnificent.
All right.
Supposedly he tells jokes. Really bad jokes.
I can also do a little bit of singing too. I'm mostly known for lute playing and Holden.
And so your morning goes on as everybody wakes up and has breakfast and attends to their daily routines. And a little before noon, you hear the sounds of horse hooves riding up to camp. Just one pair.
I go out to meet the horse hooves.
And you see Darius riding up on horseback. Says, "How goes your day?"
Strange.
Better than yesterday.
Less
Ah.
screaming I've heard. Then again, I didn't hear
Ah.
anything yesterday.
Not quite akin to the maelstrom, are you guys yet, yeah?
No, we lost our hearing because of that crack yesterday, and supposedly Raoul there was screaming the whole day.
All
Just
right.
coming up
Well,
with ideas, okay?
It's very annoying.
I miss it. Is it Jarius that wrote up?
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, one thing that you can always be sure of with the maelstroms, while most of it is whatever the hell the winds decide to be that day, the last 2 days are always the same. There's always the cracks in the sky, and then afterwards, the day after, the rain always goes up, and then it ends.
Is it safe to travel when the rain is going up?
Yeah, I mean, we probably could have traveled yesterday as well. But the last 2 days, always the same, at least from what I've seen.
Well, if it's safe, I say we should start heading over.
All right. Well, I've got camp all packed up. We did that yesterday when we knew it'd be safe. And so we are ready to travel on out whenever you are.
Most of our stuff is in the carriage already. Let me go get everyone ready and we'll meet you out on the road.
Sounds good. Now, because of our tensions of how we met a few days ago, I decided it'd probably be best that I send the bugbears ahead. Be more like scouts. So
Will they
I've
be
got all
alright?
the horses. Huh?
Will they be alright by themselves?
Oh yeah, they're great hunters. They should be fine. But I figured that they could go ahead, kind of clear the path for us, make sure nothing's awaiting us, and that'd give us some space. You guys some space from them, as in the days that followed, they were pretty keen on not liking you guys. I did what I could to talk to them about it and kind of explain the situation, but bugbears are stubborn. So I figured we'd just send them ahead, have them travel about half a day ahead of us, and then I can manage the caravan that I've got. I've got it all. We string it all up so that all the horses are up front, and I just have to man the reins of the front cart, and it should pull it all in one go. So took some doing getting the owl bear, the big one, up on a cart, but we got a nice sturdy one made of metal that we got it on, so it shouldn't pose any problems.
Alright. Well,
Do you mind me riding that cart?
I mean, there's a little bit of space, I suppose. Have at it. It's your loss if it swipes out of you.
I must know more about this bugbear.
It's an
Owl
owl
bear.
bear.
Owl bear, bugbear. Too many bears. Less bears, more lizards.
That, yeah, all right. Yeah, feel free.
Excellent.
Alright, we'll meet you at the road.
Yep. I'll get it all settled on the road and be waiting. He turns and rides off.
And
So I help
go-
get the horses ready. Well, because I've been training them, they're getting pretty used to me, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I head over to Drix and say, it's time for us to head out. It seems the floating rains are safe to travel in.
Don't you worry about a thing. I've already got us halfway prepped. We just got to get the horses all hooked up and ready to go and everyone loaded.
Right. Neth looks like she's been training the horses and setting them up, so I think we're good.
All right. And so everybody gathers on the cart, packs their things, breaks down camp, and within about an hour or so, everyone is ready to get underway. So, you get the horses hooked up, you get out onto the road, and you see up ahead that Jarius has his caravan at this point on the road already. It consists of 4 carts in total, all daisy chained together via thick metal chains hooked at the center point by some sort of connection that allows them to turn and follow each other like the train itself. And he's got about 10 horses up front, all hooked, 3 wide, and then 3 rows with 1 at the front that he's got pulling everything in one big go. And the first cart behind him, the one that he rides himself, it seems more set up and designed for the driver and rider. You see many sacks and supplies in it. The one behind that looks like the portable campsite tent-like thing. You see all the canvases, all of the long poles, all neatly folded up and stacked inside of this one. In addition, it looks like this cart itself unhinges and unfolds to a bit to be kind of like a pop-out sections of it. And then the third one in the train has the owlbear cage, the big owlbear cage on it, which, to note, the little owlbear in its cage is on the front one with Darius. And then the big one's on the third one, and it takes up the majority of the cart. And this is the only cart that's fully metal. It's got metal wheels, metal exterior. It's thin, and it looks roughly worked and put together, but it's sturdy enough for what it does. And you can see on its back end where it looks like there's a section of ramp that can be pulled out, that they likely slid the cage or rolled or tipped the cage up on to it and slid it up into position. And you can see there are multiple chains thrown over the cart and over the cage itself, binding it down and attaching it to the cart directly. And then the fourth cart looks like more supplies and stuff, just varied things thrown about it. It looks the emptiest of the most. And so, as you guys begin to pull up behind that train, you see him stand up on his cart, and he comes back around and talks to Drix outside, and you overhear. All right, well, I'm ready to go up ahead. Did you want to take the lead, or did you want me to stay in front? I don't mind either way. Our train here moves at a pretty decent pace. I've got enough horses for it. And I know the way, so up to you, though. It is just a road that we're following anyway. Drix goes, well, perhaps we'll go on ahead, and we'll be up front. We'll likely move a little bit faster, and in case we get into anything a little crazy, we got our crew on it that can hop off and help out real quick, like, instead of having to run past everything. Drix says, all right, sounds good to me. Lead on. And then from the inside, you all feel your carriage pull off to the side and start to pull around and past. And Drix shouts back, Raoul!
Yes!
You might want to hop off if you're going on that train.
You're right. Right.
You don't get mauled, please.
What?
Don't get mauled by the owlbear.
Oh, I'm not going to get mauled.
Uh-huh.
It's in a cage.
It's all right. Good luck.
So a dangerous animal.
Raoul will get his stuff. He'll get his book. He's got his backpack. He runs over there.
Yep. And there is a bit of space between the back of the cage and the edge of the cart itself. It's enough that you could sit down, but you are fairly close to the cage.
He'll sit there.
Okay.
He'll start right from the get-go. He opens up his little booklet and he just starts examining this animal.
Do your eyes glow?
Of course.
They do.
Definitely some type of astron going on here.
Well, that'll either bring in the crowd or scare them off.
Of course, while Raul is at camp, his eyes are generally glowing as well, as you guys... Or wait, no, you don't have an astron of his typing, so never mind.
We got rid of that.
Yep. All right. And so, you begin the last leg of your journey to Holden Keep. Over the next 10 or so days, it winds up being more like 11 or 12, as Jarius's cart does slow things down a little bit. But is there anything over the course of this time that anybody would like to get up to or do? To describe the travel itself, real quick, in general, it is fairly smooth. There's not a single storm in the time of this travel. It seems that the maelstrom itself used all that up, if that were a thing. And the weather is fairly clear and sparse. A couple of light rain showers, but nothing beyond that. There's dew that begins to form in the morning that has a slight frosting to it closer towards the end of your journey. And as you are traveling a bit further north and toward the colder climates of the continent. And there's really not too much to be said about the travel. There's a few times the bugbears come back, bringing a caught deer for Jarius that butchers it up and is able to feed you all with. For the most part, it seems that Jarius keeps to himself, unless any of you go specifically to go talk to him. He tends his horses, he tends the meat, and he does bring over handfuls of packages of meat to you guys when you set up camp, however far apart that is from each other. And that's the basis of how the journey goes. But during it, any conversations, scenes, or moments that you guys come up?
I actually go to... Oh, go ahead.
No, so like, how is like night watch working? Are the bugbears watching at night or no?
Jarius explains that they're about a third or to half a day travel ahead.
Okay.
And that they send a few back to report a couple of times, or like once every day or so. There's a report of a couple, and on the way back they hunt and bring what they find.
So we're probably the ones keeping an eye on everything then, right?
Yeah, your group is basically what's with the carriages plus Jarius.
And I have something I would like to do during one of my watches, but Miguel and RJ can go ahead.
RJ is going to go up to Jarius and say, "This is my first time going so far up north. I was wondering what type of place is Holden Keep?"
I mean, it's nothing too special. It's kind of built around these old ruins of a fort or something that used to exist. Lord Holden and his guards, I suppose, they've been building it up over the years, and the last couple of years, it's got a pretty good bit of progress. There's even a bit of a town that's sprung up around it. There's a few shops, tavern, but mostly it's just farmers and the farmlands that stretch out all around Holden Keep. I mean, for days you could go and find farms. It's a relatively peaceful area, very, very lush ground, and so people use it.
Sounds lovely. Is there any unwritten rules that we might have to observe? I know a lot of places have little things that might get people in trouble if they don't know about it.
He thinks for a minute. Not particularly. I mean, don't be an asshole. The general stuff. But yeah, no, there's really nothing particular. I mean, if you headed farther north and you got to the wall, then that's a whole different story. But I mean, that's a week or so, maybe a little less, more north of Holden. I will say, the guards, he puts in air quotes, aren't like a formal town guard. They're more hired mercenaries and people that kind of just keep peace among things. Many of them travel the outskirts of the farmlands themselves. They go around, collecting taxes and stuff on behalf of Lord Holden. Yeah, no, nothing else really.
Okay. Any places where we should avoid going?
I mean, there's this one shop in town called the Slayer's Trinkets. I personally would avoid them. The owner there, Ellis, she's a bit of she's got a fun personality, and she'll upcharge you quite a bit. I wouldn't recommend going there. It's kind of a shitty little potion shop anyway. So.
Well, if it's a potion shop, I might still go. Always nice to learn new spells. Well, I'll go check.
I don't know about spells and stuff, but I mean, like, got a sore foot, you get an ointment, you get a...
Oh, yeah. I do that type of stuff, too.
Oh, do you?
Well, that's why I can help you with your owlbear, which I should go check up on.
I figured you were just throwing things at him, and, the magical potion kinds.
No, I'm also checking up and making sure I don't need to put some type of ointment or anything on wounds that are festering.
No. It seems a fairly resilient creature.
Yeah. All right. And then after that, one of these days, I'm going to go up to Nithir. But not tonight. Probably in like 2 days after this confrontation.
Okay.
I mean, I'll stroll by and just overhear a bit of that conversation. And I heard that you mentioned that Lord Holden had a few of these hybrid monsters in his care.
I mean, I don't know what he does with them after I've delivered them, but I've delivered a number over the last year or so.
You don't know if he keeps them in pens or something?
I couldn't tell you. I take him to the gates of the fort, and his crony Warwick there picks him up and takes him on inside with some of his other guys, and that's the last I see of him. But they're worth quite a pretty penny.
Yeah.
Alright, so my main focus is on this owl bear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you want me to roll. If there's anything I could, even if I can roll anything, figure out what the fuck is causing my eyes to glow.
Yeah, you're studying it, and trying to take notes and stuff. Go ahead and roll Astrocraft.
First, I'll do Astrocraft first. I was just going to do a general perception check just to see if I see an Astron on him. Like, look, an Astron necklace around his neck.
The Tolbeak is actually just made of Astron.
He's wearing Astron glasses.
Oh my goodness, you are good at this. Wow.
Whew.
Man, I'm never giving you money for anything.
The thing is, I usually have really good luck on most shit.
Now you do.
So, you try and glean what you can from the creature, at least over these first few days. We'll say, the first half of your journey. This is your results. What you come to find is there's not an Astron blatantly on it or sticking out of it or anything like that. But and here's where the natural one comes in. You do find yourself one day, for whatever reason, staring at its feces. Perhaps there's an answer in there, Raoul thinks.
Yes.
And you take some of it and you walk very far away from it itself. And you do detect that there's an ever so faint glow still. But it's unlike anything you've come across. To your eyes, I mean.
Oop.
It's in the poo.
Oops, Astron crystals.
But when you dig your hand through it, you find no Astron crystal.
Oh, that's such a great visual. And playing with poo. Playing. I want to hear what you're saying while you're digging through the poo. What does Rawl say? That's got to be a great narrative.
He just has like poo. At one point, he'll probably just have poo still in his hand and be like, Astron crystals are in the poo. Look, my eyes are still glowing.
Jesus Christ, Raul. Go clean yourself up or something. You smell horrible.
Wash your hands, please.
All for science.
Great. Can science wash his hands?
He's actually. Do you have a jar?
No, I don't.
RJ,
give him one of your potion vials or something. I don't know. I don't care. Just get him out of the caravan.
Well, that's not happening.
I must study the poo.
And to be mildly graphic here, it is that cross between bird poo and bear poo. Oh. So it's got that white color, and it's kind of ooey and runny with giant solid chunks.
Wizard, you must know a spell for this.
Yep. Fire. Lots and lots of fire. Would you like for me to burn him?
No.
Maybe.
I mean, let's get him out of the caravan and see if it airs out after he leaves.
Well, he wasn't riding with us, so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but I assume he's wandered over by to talk to us.
This is the breakthrough that I needed.
He holds it, a piece slops off and hits the ground and splashes. Raoul, if I find that stuff on my boots, you won't like me very much.
You guys are no fun. I pooped once a day, so I'll get more. I'll get more samples tomorrow.
Willie.
Yeah.
Clean the shit off the floor.
He looks at Wizard with pleading eyes. I'm not gonna do it. Sounds like a good idea, Fizz. You just see like part of Willie's soul just die inside.
Wizard, we talked about this. My name is Mal.
Before he has to touch it, I prestidigitate the thing away.
Yes, sorry, Mal. Luckily, you glance around it out of suspicion, and Jarius is, quite a distance away on the other side of the camp. He kind of keeps his carts a little off to the side of yours. They're kind of like two campsites, but just very close.
Yeah.
After a while, I'll find a place to wash my hands and
Roll a survival check.
break through.
Ooh,
Natural one.
natural one, yeah. Let's call
Oh
it.
please! Oh please!
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Wow.
What? All 3 rolls.
It's a good thing we're not in combat.
What are the odds of that?
1 over
Like-
20 times 3.
Wow. Roll it again just for fun. I just want to see if you get a 1 twice in a row.
It won't be real. It won't be real.
There, see? Okay.
Roll, you find no pools of water or pond. However, there is the barrel of water.
With the puke that was in it.
Yep.
We cleaned it out and rewatered it.
Yep, but there is that barrel of water.
It's 1 in 8,000, by the way.
I can't contaminate the water for the crystal. What would that do to the Astron crystal if I just dip my hand in it?
Do you have that clear one in that barrel again?
He would, as long as, okay, so he would have told RJ that clear Astron crystals were cool with, like, really good for medical shit. So as long as RJ was cool with it, he would.
Yeah, RJ was fine with it.
So it's back in the
Okay.
barrel of water. He took it out so he could study it and then try to see if he could get hit by lightning.
Yep.
Now he's got it back in water. Can't contaminate the crystal water.
He says, stroking his face with his poop-covered hand.
Yeah.
No, he does that with his other hand. He's not that dumb.
I think both hands are covered in shit at this point. You've been digging through it, man. Like,
You have to use both hands to dig.
I'll just get some leaves.
Excellent.
He'll get like some ground or something, and he'll like power wash himself with. He'll just have like he'll put his hands in the ground and like make it sift.
Use your earth
Like-
powers to clean your hands.
Yeah, he like makes like a little like whirlpool of sand beneath him, and he just puts his hand in it, and the sand just kind of wipes off the poop as best
That'll
as he can.
do the trick for the most part. A nice dry wash.
What's the chances I notice this?
Roll survival. Or perception.
Perception? Okay.
Yeah, you see him.
I walk up to him and go, "What are you doing?"
Cleaning my hands off. I can't find any water, and everyone's complaining about the poop on my hands.
It does smell bad. I'm kind of sensitive to smells, so I noticed it right away. Yeah, you should wash that off.
What do you think I'm doing? As his hands are just in the ground.
It's like vibrating around his hands.
I do get to use the spell sift
Yeah.
as like whenever I want to.
Does that work? Will that get it clean?
Allows me. What does sift do again?
I don't know. But the way you're using it, it pretty much cleans it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it works like those sand dry tumblers, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I prefer to use water still, but
Can't
if that
find
works
it.
for I'll just make it. I just
I
hold
can't
out
make.
and water
Oh,
starts
my-
pouring out below my hands.
Why do you tell me you can do this? You gotta tell me you can do this type of stuff.
You didn't ask. And you see me every day. When I
Fair
make the
enough.
water and I clean myself with it.
Is Raoul yelling this?
No, he can hear
Okay.
himself.
Okay. Well,
Tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow. I got some important poop to cipher.
just maybe do it from a distance, please, if you don't mind. I'm very
Any-
sensitive to smells.
Case in point. Good. But maybe one day we sit down, we talk about what we all could do. And I know then we don't have shit like this happening where I don't know where you can make water and I can just clean my hands with your water. Excellent.
Good idea. Or just watch.
By then it's late enough in the day where he's done with his research and he'll settle down with a glass of wine.
That first night I will be doing something.
Okay.
Whenever I was waiting until everybody else was done.
Is it something
Just
with
there-
me or?
No.
Okay, I gotta go take my dogs out real quick.
Nope, you're off
Okay?
the hook. You're off the hook tonight. And I would have come and asked you first, so. Nope. I go and if our camps are far enough apart, I think I should know my range. Do I need to sit closer to his camp than our camp?
Or, I mean, you'd be a little bit on the outskirts of your camp near his, but it doesn't look too off.
Meaning, do I feel like I need to go and sit into his camp, or can I just be in our camp like I normally do? Do I think that I will be close enough?
You'd have to be on the edge of your camp closest to his.
Okay. I will walk right into his camp.
Okay.
Nod to him.
Good evening. Yeah, we can speak when you wake up.
Okay. And then I will sit cross-legged, and when it's ready for the time to go to sleep, in the middle of his camp.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, sleep there. Cool. Okay. Good night. And he goes to bed after a little while. It seems he stays up for a couple of hours for some watch, and then he finally lays down to get some rest.
Okay. Once he hits his REM, I basically just, for him, I just kind of try to ease into his dream. Try to not to startle him, see what I see first if I can. But if I need to, I will then say something very lightly. Joris was his name, right?
Jarius.
Jarius. May we speak?
So let me describe the kind of scenery that you're easing yourself into before you try and introduce yourself.
Okay, yeah, good idea.
You come into this scene, and it seems like you're running through a dark forest at night. It's hard to see. Bushes and branches are whacking across you, scraping your face and arms as you are running blindly through this woods. You look up and you catch glimpses, and you're kind of seeing this, you think, almost through his vision as you're coming into it, before you're able to separate yourself and kind of make yourself your own entity within his dream. There's that moment of getting into it first. And that starts through him. And he seems to be sprinting madly through a forest. You can feel the warm cuts across his skin, blood ripping down, shirt torn and torn away at certain parts. And you look up, and through the flittering of the leaves up ahead, you can see the moon bright and big overhead, shining and casting its light, filtering through the forest floor.
What
You
does it seem
seem-
like he's running from?
It doesn't seem like he's running from. It seems like he's running after something.
Okay, like he's hunting.
Yes, but he doesn't have gear on him. He doesn't have a weapon on him.
Okay.
He seems already injured. And you see him burst out into this clearing. And there's this small fawn that he's cornered. It's tired from running. He somehow tired a deer out and running. And he catches it. And he leaps across the clearing at it. And as he grabs his hands on its neck, you can see his hands look misshapen and strange, but it's hard to see in the dark. And you see he just digs his fingernails into the deer and cracks its neck with his bare hands. And he stands up and stretches. And that's when you are able to apparate yourself on the edge of the clearing.
Okay. My dress will be as a woodland elf that I'm very familiar with. More of a style. Still something very nice looking for like a woodland elf, like from Arn. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna kind of say, friend, not a foe. I'm here to speak.
In that first moment, he looks up and swings his head towards you, and there's this look of bloodlust and pure frenzy in his face. And then there's some question to it.
This is Nithyarn. You met me. We're
You
here.
see him
We're traveling
look down
together.
at his hands. He looks at the deer, looks up at you. You shouldn't be here. It's not safe.
I understand. But I'm safe with you, am I not?
I wouldn't be so sure. There's a quiver of fear in his voice.
Well, you're safe with me.
What?
I don't fear you. And I have no malice.
Well, what is this? Why are you here?
Well, as I approached you tonight, I know I
Tonight?
couldn't tell you, but I wanted to communicate with you.
Yeah,
And this
that's
is the
right.
way that I can do that.
You're the tall one.
Yes. My name is Nithir. So, pleasure to meet you. How do you say his name again?
Jorias.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Jorias. Let me rephrase that. A pleasure to speak to you.
Hello. What happened
I'm sorry
to the
to
camp?
interrupt your. I'm sorry to interrupt your hunt.
Is everything all right? Did the carriage make it? Are we?
It's all. It's good. We're in your dreams.
My dreams.
Yes. Or nightmare, perhaps.
Those are my only dreams.
Yeah, I gathered that. You seem fairly anxious.
I.
Let me tell you this right now. If you're asked, I will not repeat what I've seen. To anyone.
That would be best.
I agree. But
why are you here?
Well, it's my way of being able to get to know you. You don't understand my sign language. And nor he didn't understand my writing either.
No.
Nor my writing. And this is a way that I can communicate with you and gain experiences with you. I know it's odd, and I apologize for the intrusion.
Can you be hurt here?
No, I know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No. While this is shared experience between the two of us, I'm still me and you are still you.
There's kind
The
of
form
this...
that he drift out of the form that I kind of saw him in.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. As that kind of clicks with him, and he becomes more in tune that this is more of a lucid dream, you see there's a sense of control that has progressively been building. And you find the scenery around you shifting to just a normal, simple one-man campsite. A small fire, a pot over it, a small little tent on a clear night overlooking a lake. This large tree towering over the other side of the lake. He looks out across it. You see he's in his hunter's garb now.
Did his hands and his body change a bit as he changed too? Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. This feels more like what you'd like to dream about.
It would be nice. Such control was always had.
Was this your home?
No. This is... perhaps the last place I was truly myself.
Well, perhaps we don't progress past this point in time then.
Oh, what I would give to do that in the waking world.
I think all of us have things that torture us in various ways. I think you can gather that when we're awake, I cannot speak or hear. But here I can.
Cannot imagine that difficulty.
And I don't think I can imagine yours either. But I will hold that trust. Do you feel confident that while you're awake, you can control it?
There are losses of control, but...
during the moon, I assume?
Mostly, but there are other times.
And I assume that only because the moon was high when we first started the dream.
That's when it's its worst.
Yeah. It's a fairly critical time.
I have to make sure I am alone, far away from anyone. It's strange. I've never spoken of this before. It's strange to talk about it so casually.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm of enough knowledge or experience to help you at all. But if you needed help, I would try.
You'd have to find the one who did it.
There's the connection there, then.
In its ways, yes. It is no mistake I hunt what I hunt for Lord Holden. I will undermine her work wherever I can.
So that's the theme of the magical beasts that you hunt. It's kind of a mission as well as a job.
It pays, but I don't care about the money. I give most of it to the bugbears. I keep what I need to survive and keep going.
What manner of creature do you become?
Well,
is it bears as you're with, or is it another type of animal?
it is like a bear, but also person. There's some control to it. When in battle, it is helpful. I'm one of the reasons I was so eager to end our conflicts when we met. I did not want to lose control.
It's against your nature, then. Your true
Entirely.
nature.
Entirely. I don't know her name, the witch, the whatever she is that does this to people and things. I don't know where she is or what she is. She's out there. She's creating these monsters. I can't let that out into the world. Not if I can help it.
I would, I'll leave it at that for now. Perhaps another time. If you ever felt the need to share this one awake, perhaps someday we'll be traveling for a while. We could help you be comfortable with that idea. But if not, that's up to you, Holy.
Unless you and your group would be willing to help me find this creator and take them down, I see no need to share it.
I understand, and I can't speak for the group. But we take on a lot of things.
If you think it's something worthy of your time or cause in the future, ask them, tell them.
You spend most of your time in and around the Holden area?
Yes.
Is it Holden? It's Holden, right? Yeah.
Where they appear.
So it's this area, it's associated with this area as well.
As far as I can tell, it's east of Holden, south of the mountains. That general area. I haven't pinpointed anything yet.
I think we're heading that way.
Where are you headed?
I'd have to look at a map to remember.
Error crossed.
Yeah, error crossed.
Why are you heading to a prison camp?
Yeah, another mission that we're on. We
Rescuing someone?
Hopefully everyone. Putting balance back in the world.
I see. You're those type of people then.
Yeah, kind of odd, isn't it? I would have never thought it. I was just trying to figure out who I am.
Aren't we all?
Oh. But I mean it literally.
You don't know yourself?
No. I've only been on this realm a year and a half.
Strange.
And I don't really have much memories before that. What was it? What did we say? A year and a half, or was it 2 years? I forget what we ended up with.
I think it's 2.
Yeah, for a couple of years. And even though I know there was something before this, I only remember since I awoke a couple years ago in another realm than this. Kind of interesting life, trying to figure out who you are.
There are inner journeys you could go on.
This is not something I understand.
The
I get
bugbears.
glimpses. I get glimpses, but I haven't found anything yet.
The bugbears, they interesting creatures, much more complex than most people give them credit. In their belief, each bugbear has a certain task in life. And it's up to the individual to find what that is. Usually acquisition of family or wealth or simple things. But sometimes one will come along that is more like a shaman. And there's a particular mushroom found in wet caves. Not glows. It is pink with blue spots. They make a tea of that, and they go on what they call a spirit journey, where they go to sleep, and when they awaken, they know who they are.
You seem to be close to them. I wonder if they would share something like that.
Perhaps.
I
At least
know how to even.
I might
even
be able to.
I wouldn't even know how to approach a bugbear to ask. I don't know their language. I heard you guys growling it, but I didn't. I know. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. I saw your lips moving in a way that I don't understand, but I can't
Most would
imagine what
attack
that
those
was.
of your kind on sight. Perhaps if you and your kind were able to help me along the way, perhaps we could find a way to help you.
See, I like that. Benefit for both.
Not only do I want myself to be whole again, but there's a goodness that needs to be upheld in the world. We need to look after one another, not fight for reasons unknown.
So let me ask this. Without revealing your challenges, are you okay if I bring this up with my group? The idea of helping you. For reasons that you would have to explain if needed. Not right away. Let's give it a few days, but you can think about it.
I will.
Can I join you again one evening?
As strange as this is, I would welcome you to save me from my nightmares anytime you wish.
Well, this is something, a gift that I can give. As you will wake up tomorrow, the best sleep you've ever had. It's a side effect
I
that
hope
most
so.
like. I have one last request.
What?
Can you think of a joyous time in your life? You'll be able to bring it forward and take me to it. Something wondrous. Can I share? Because I can't dream, but I can experience yours. And you can take us someplace if you desire.
And see things I haven't seen?
Yeah. Anything. I'll be there with you.
Roll a diplomacy at this point.
Okay. Not my good skill. Oh no, it is one of my better ones. Oh no, it's not, because okay.
I think I've got something in mind. And your vision shifts to a sunny day. You find yourself sitting on the edge of a barn's roof at the peak. Behind you, you see there's a wheat field in full growth, ready to be harvested. Its stalks swaying in the breeze, almost like a visible wave across the top. You can see a small little brick house not too far from the barn. It looks cozy. Nice. There's a garden of flowers at its front door. And a figure tending those flowers, wearing some sort of flowing bright red dress that catches the wind. You hear Jarius just humming a tune under his breath, to himself almost. And you stay like that for some time before the dream fades and you find yourself awake in the morning. And so, the next day has come. Another clear day, people up and about. Getting ready, eating food, packing up. And
I walk by just at one point and just nod to him and say, and sign, even though he doesn't understand it. And then go on.
for the first time, you see Jarius smile at you.
Yeah, I was smiling when I did it.
And you don't know whether he says it out loud or is just mouthing it, but you see the words on his lips. Thank you.
And I nod. because so you can tell I understood immediately.
And then he gets off to getting the horses ready, as it's quite a chore.
Yep.
And you all get back underway, and the journey continues. Anything else along your travels?
Yep, there's just one night when I'm on watch. I want to take a little stroll.
Alrighty. A day or so later, evening has come, camp is set. Iz walks off onto the hillside.
No, I'm not walking off to the...
Not to the hillside.
No.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun! I'm gonna take a gander at all that stuff that other guy is carrying.
Alrighty.
Do I see any locks?
Yes, there are locks. There are locks in between connecting the trains to each other around looped chains. There are locks on the chains keeping there's multiple locks on the chains keeping the cage bound to the cart that it's on.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
And those are the locks you find.
I'm going to yeah. I'm gonna find one that's appropriate for my. Well, do I find one that's appropriate for my skeleton key? Because I assume that it's some of the locks might be bigger than what it fits.
Yeah, I mean, there's a variety of locks of different shapes and sizes, and you're able to find one that's roughly the right size.
Yeah. Just take a little peek around. Make sure nobody's around.
Coast looks clear.
And I'll pull the skeleton key off and cast Unseen Servant.
Okay.
And hand it the key and just say, take this and try and unlock that, and we'll point it to at the lock.
So I'm pretty sure Unseen Servant can't do skill checks.
Yes, but the skeleton key does say that you can use.
Oh right, we talked about this.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be able to use it at the +10 bonus instead of whatever yours is with a +10.
Well, I mean, it is up to you whether or not but this is me testing to work.
Yeah, because it's essentially just putting it in and twisting it. It's not like it's trying to fiddle and disable things. It's either going to work or it's not.
Yeah. Okay. So then that's...
It would be the same as if you commanded an Unseen Servant to open the
Use a
door
regular
for
key.
someone, right? Open the door for the guest, and there was a bolt that had to turn. It's fairly...
It's not Hey!
Okay. It unlocks the lock, or you hear the click,
Okay.
and the hinge and the base falls away from the lock a little bit.
Give me the key back and take it back from it and
You just
put it back around my neck and dismiss the Unseen Servant and relock whatever I have unlocked.
Yep. So there's a specific lock that's on the cage of the owlbear. I suppose that's the only thing. That's the only thing that wasn't clear of the coast, but it looked sleeping at this point in the evening.
Yeah.
And you did not disturb it. But it is one of 3 locks that hold 3 big looped chains in place around its cage.
Yeah. Cool. Good to know. Pow. And I continue on my rounds.
Okay.
That was a test. of the unseen servant key lock.
I go up to Nif.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm going good, but I think Novromery is looking a bit listless. I sometimes see him just looking up into the sky sometimes.
He wants his ship. It was
Thanks.
really cool. It's really a cool ship.
I think he might split away from us as we travel soon, because he did say it was pretty close to here. I was wondering. I'm still torn, but I think I might have to go with him just to make sure that he's gonna be okay.
To travel with him to his ship?
To a ship. Once we get it, I'm thinking I'll try to get back to you guys. Ask him if he's still willing to let us use the ship to travel around.
I'm not sure. Is he expressed that that's what he wants to do? Or you're thinking he does?
I'm thinking he might soon.
Well, I can see where he would need you to be safe.
And he's still not all there yet, so he won't be able to fight if he comes into trouble.
How would you find us?
Knowing you, I'll probably follow the smoke. And knowing Fizz, the screams.
Screams of pleasure.
Which might actually be the thing.
Oh my goodness, the trail of husbands' wives. I understand. I don't know what. I suspect you're thinking just you and him traveling off on your own.
Because what we're doing now is too important to be sidetracked, right? For a ship. But I'm worried.
Who would lead us?
I was hoping you would, actually. People are understanding how you talk now, and your goal for balance is as close to what I wish this group can continue to do. Just
I don't really know how to answer that.
You don't have to yet.
I'm better at.
I didn't take up the mantle of leadership very well at the start too, but when you see your friends in danger, you tend to pick it up fast and make sure that they stay protected. And I've seen you take that up lately as well.
I understand. Let me think on it.
Yeah,
You might want to talk to. I know Fizz challenges you a lot sometimes.
And I won't be gone for too long.
Well, that's true. But a good, real heart-to-heart talk with him might be good.
Oh, I think I'm gonna have to talk to him. Make sure he doesn't cause more mischief than he already does.
Well, his way is different than yours. There's no doubt about that. But I really think he has a good heart.
No, he does. But his way of doing things causes a bit of mischief when we run around him.
But isn't that balance? You need a little mischief with a little bit of law?
It is a way of balance, yes. And that's the reason why I hope that you would At least make sure that everyone stays together. Protect them.
Well, that I will always do. We'll talk about more later. Come back to me in maybe a couple days, because I gotta think a bit more. But there's a couple other things I've learned. I might maybe tomorrow night something I'll share with you.
All right.
Or let's get us all together as a group, and I want to tell you what I've learned.
Understood.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Fizz tomorrow night when I can.
All right.
What is Raoul inventing? That's what I really want to
A
know.
new device to search poop.
Yeah. I'm waiting for P2. Scene for
Probably-
P2.
Maybe gloves that allow him to have better range of movement with his fingers
While
keeping them
digging
clean.
through.
There's this new idea I got. I don't know what they're going to be made out of, but they're gloves that cover your arm up to your elbow.
Oh, surgical gloves. I've used those before.
That'd be a thing at this time. Or
Not the plastic type blue gloves that we're used to in modern times, but a form of surgical gloves would exist. Yes, more like
Veteran
thick
veterans have 'em.
leathers and yeah.
yeah. But more range of movement, thinner. Maybe made of intestines.
That seems unsanitary.
You wash it off, it's fine.
Still seems unsanitary. Maybe something that can be disposed of easily.
I'll have to add this to the notebook of ideas.
I swear, if you guys try and invent plastic,
I don't know. Are there any gum trees around parts?
go find
Probably
them.
not.
Roll nature. I could roll nature. I have high enough. I might find it.
Wrong climate.
Yeah.
Oh, fine, mate.
You
Needs
never know.
to be
There might be
tropical.
cold gum trees.
Any other chats before the proposed meeting tomorrow evening? Right. The next day comes and goes. Fizz, the travel to Holden Keep draws nearer and nearer. You can see some of the peaks of the mountains beginning to rise on the eastern horizon. The hills, the landscape is beginning to dip down into the valley that you know Holden lays home to, where the land is lush and fertile. And you all find yourselves stopped for the evening.
I go up to Fizz.
Hello, RJ.
Can I talk with you for a bit?
Sure.
I am thinking that I might have to go on a journey, and I'm worried about you.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is this journey that you're talking about?
Well, I'm thinking soon that Novromery might be wanting to, since we're so close to a ship, might be wanting to go grab it. And I still need to administer to my patient.
True.
But I'm worried
Plus,
about
who
you.
wouldn't want to spend some time in the sky?
Maybe we will one day.
Maybe.
That isn't on a floating island that you fall down from.
I prefer glide style, but yes.
But I'm worried about you. You try to do so much good, yet it seems you don't think through some of your actions, and it hurts people. And one day that's gonna hurt you in the end. For all the good that you want to do.
I mean, I suppose could be true.
I just wish that you, when I'm gone, that you, since I'm no longer here to make sure that you don't push it too far. I hope you just think a tiny bit more to make sure that you see a bigger picture and see what your actions might do to hurt the cause that you're trying to fight for.
I'll do my best, but it's gonna be a long road.
You should seek advice from Nith every so often. Then she seems to see nothing but the bigger picture, and sometimes she doesn't see what you see, and see the small incidents around her.
Yeah. It's true, she is quite wise. We'll have to talk more, I think.
When you go to Holden, and when you're traveling, just make sure you look past the initial contacts. You might see something a bit more. You might see plans that might lead to a better outcome than what you first thought.
I will keep that in mind. I will miss you.
I'll be
you're gone.
back. It's Navromrich said that his ship wasn't too far abreast from where we're going.
Well, I hope you don't run into any. It's just the two of you. Hopefully the ship isn't in disrepair. I don't know how long it's been since he's gone to his ship.
I'm also worried that without me, you don't have anybody in the front when a battle might break out and you guys might get hurt.
I think Raoul will be perfectly okay there.
Really?
He seems like a pretty thick-skinned dragon.
Oh no, if he seems to be nearer to the middle, throwing rocks at people.
Well, perhaps we'll have to hire somebody.
Maybe. Just make sure you guys look after each other.
We will. Hey, if we get Tyween back while you're gone, I'm sure he'll be glad to be back and be in the front.
Maybe. I hope he's still gonna be the same Tyween when he comes back.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't wait for him to come back. I'll permanently be his most favorite person. Human.
Oh, I bet he likes you more than the vast majority of humans.
But not more than Willie before he became a squirrel.
Hmm. Well, and you'll never. I don't think you'll ever be his number one human, considering that there's still Drix. That's kind of hard to beat. Hey, you like
Just
Drix
gotta work
than
on
most
it.
people too.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
You see how hard it is to upset that ranking system.
I mean, it'll take some time, yeah, but I'll wait that way and over.
All right. Well, I will. That's all I really wanted to talk about. Just make sure you guys are okay.
I mean, it'll be tough, but I think we'll pull through.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. There'll be provisions if I do leave.
I mean, there was a couple times I would have been dead if it had. So, hopefully, we'll just have to be a little bit more careful.
You and Nif both have healing magics. I'm sure you'll both be fine. Though you do have to touch the treasure to do it.
Yeah, not as handy with those crazy bombs you throw.
Those bombs are nice. Oh, talking about bombs, I gotta go check up on the owlbear.
Ah, yes. Hopefully he gets better soon.
Well, he's getting better as a natural progression of his health. I'm just making sure that he's well enough to get there. If he gets too strong, he might break out of the cage and hurt everyone here, which would not be good. Because I don't think any of us could really handle owlbear, especially an enraged one. Where
they had quite a number of bugbears. Even then, one of them died.
Mm-hmm. And we have 3 people right now who can't fight. That I'd rather not be put into danger. Well, I'll talk to you in a bit. Okay. And I head over to the owlbear to check up on it.
Raoul, are you at the owlbear?
Of course.
All the time.
What are you doing with or near the owlbear as RJ approaches?
I don't know. This has been a couple days, so his poop breakthrough has gone through has gone through its course.
Mm-hmm. I guess make another astrocraft check.
Don't roll a 1.
Rolls a 1. Ooh, nice.
There you go.
Okay.
Those are the numbers we're looking for.
So, RJ, you come to a mildly strange sight as Raoul is perched on top of the cage, looking down at the owlbear in the evening light. And Raoul, what you've noticed is that for some of its feathers, if you get the light just right, which is why you have to be up here at the moment, you can see this sheen in the feathers that feels reminiscent of what you're looking for, or perhaps is at least some sort of clue or hint.
He'd look at if he notices. I'm gonna actually roll this real quick. I'm just rolling this just to see if I perceive RJ before he gets too close.
Yeah. And to add to that a little bit, well, over the past few days, and what you will begin to discover over the next couple of days ahead of you, it seems as if many pieces of the owl bear are somehow infused with the energy of an astron. Whether that means there's a full shard within the beast, perhaps it ate it, or perhaps something of a more magical nature has happened. But something has allowed, and you might not even be able to figure that out unless you either met what caused it, or seen what sort of reaction caused it, or cut the thing open to try and like actually examine the thing from the inside. But there definitely is some connection to the energy of a shard being infused into this beast. But it only seems to be the parts that are of the owl aspect of the owl bear that have this essence.
Going through another breakthrough. Shh.
Are you making sure you're washing your hands?
Yeah, the poop breakthrough was a couple days ago. I'm done with poop. I've noticed that when the moon or when the sun hits the feathers just right, there's a gleam. Oh yeah, no moon. You're right. Right now is the time of no moon.
Lanterns.
If the light of something hits it just right, the feathers start to glow.
Oh?
Thinking there's more to this owlbear than just the poop.
I would hope so.
I don't think it ate an astron crystal now. That was my main idea the last 2 days. That's why I was going through its poop. Didn't find anything.
Would eating an astron crystal be toxic to a person or an animal?
I don't know. Never done it. I heard of anyone do it. Want to try it?
Would rather not have to hurt a poor creature. If I have to.
Well, no, you'd be eating the astron crystal. That's not a creature.
No, I would rather not eat an astron crystal. That sounds like it would be bad for my small stomach. I'm gonna check the owl bear real quick to make sure he's not hurt or getting more hurt. So,
I haven't touched it.
All right.
Now I am thinking. I don't think this would be good for our friend here that's trying to get this trying to make money off this. We might have to cut it open.
Well, I guess you can ask the Lord Holden. But considering what Mal has said about him, we'll see.
Yes.
How has your travel with us so far?
I don't know. I'm not used to traveling with people.
You should talk to the others. I think if you get to know them, you'll see that it's quite more enjoyable to travel with a group of people than by yourself.
Yeah, it's just... It's not you guys. You guys have been wonderful to travel with. I've always lived kind of a social life that deals with less people.
Well, I think you and Neth might have something like that in common.
Like I said, I grew up... It's only been, maybe 10, 11 years since I got kicked out of my mom's house. I've gone to see her since then. We're cool. it's a dragon thing, okay? Parents get tired of you after a while, and they just kick you out. You gotta make a name out of yourself.
That seems sad. Gnomes tend to like to keep with the family group. I'm kind of the oddball for staying in the village. But then I made a new family.
Also, I think I also remind her of my father too much. There's like a part of her that I see sometimes that's really pissed off about that. But then there's a part of her that, I don't know, I think she kind of misses him somewhat. But she would never say that in front of anyone's face.
That's a certain type of affection.
But no, it's not you guys. It's just, I don't know. I'm always, last time I got kind of close to people, it led me down to a darker side of myself.
Well, associating with different people technically will usually bring out a different side of a person. Well, if you get close to these people, I think the best out of you will come out instead.
Yeah.
Or at least the most you version of yourself will come out.
Hmm. True. I still gotta study this Albert. There's something to this. And once I start researching something, I can't stop.
You said that the Astron crystals emit a type of energy, right?
Yes.
Maybe an astral crystal was embedded into it, and that energy is leaking into the body itself.
Maybe. I did notice the Astron, the shimmery glow that I see sometimes. It's in the feathers, but not the fur. Making me think that maybe it's something about the owl portion of this owl bear.
Hmm.
Which also would explain why the bugbears aren't like this. Because bugs and bears don't glow. Or at least they don't make me glow.
I don't think bugbears are the same as these types of creatures. I
They
think
got
bugbears
bear
is
in the
just
name.
yeah, I think it's just a name though. They're like furry goblins.
Yeah. Is there something you needed to talk about?
Just making sure that you're okay.
I'm fine.
And checking on the bear as well.
Me and this owl bear have become good friends.
I look at the owl bear. Is it good friends with the dragon that's staring above it?
It is just passively laying in the cage, looking toward the front cart. There's a longing, a sadness in its eyes. It's docile, tired of its struggle against the bonds it finds itself in.
Okay. Oh yeah. I feel for it, but I know that if Darius didn't put the baby with it, then the part is too dangerous, so I walk away. Well, if you need anything, Raoul, just ask anybody in the caravan.
Yes. I think I'm done with my research tonight, though. It's getting too dark. For some reason, I let this just get. I let this get away of my relaxed full time. Okay, work during the day, you relax during the night. Gotta get myself a glass of wine.
Well, maybe you find researching the owlbear relaxing as well.
Still work. Work is never relaxing. Get you through the day, but you gotta find something to relax you that's not work. Never try to make money out of something that's a hobby. They'll hate
I
it
can see it.
eventually. And then it'll never longer be a hobby.
I can see that.
And Raul will follow RJ back to like the main camp or whatnot.
All right. Anything else this evening or the following evenings? Yep.
Yeah, no, I said that I was going to do it this evening. I get everybody together within our
Okay.
camp.
Yep.
All right.
Easily enough.
Everybody pretty much understands sign language except Drix, Willie,
And Willie, and the Bromery.
and Navomri. So I'll ask if either Fizz or Mal or RJ would like to translate. Hey, Mal, do you want to?
You're muted.
Yeah, no, yes, he doesn't. He's muted.
Yep, I guess he's muted, so I guess I'll translate.
Yes, I will translate for you.
All right. So I will start explaining. Basically, I'm going to tell you the intent of what I was going to explain. I'll let you go ahead and do it since you're translating to a degree. I wasn't going to give away that I think he's some sort of a creature that transforms, but I basically wanted to let everybody know that he has a problem or challenge, that he is an evil that he is out to destroy, and he wants to know if we would help him. And in turn, he said that he may be able to help us. And what was he going to help us with again? I forgot. I kind of lost spaced it out here all of a sudden.
Well, specifically, he said he would be able to help you potentially.
Help me, right? With the travel understanding, and I'll explain that with the bugbears and the mushrooms and that kind of stuff to help me understand myself. So I'm signing that to Fizz.
Yeah. So is his name Jebediah or
Jarius.
Jarius.
Jarius knows about some crazy witch lady who's making these hybrid animals, and he wants her dealt with because he's not willing to go after her on his own. And if we help him out, he'll have Nithirium or something, I guess, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to help us out if we need him for something. He's pretty good with horses. I don't know. Maybe he could teach Trix a thing or two.
I like that you added that part. So we kind of have a group conversation like that.
Yeah. So Mal, aka Fizz, translates that, and that is the only point of view for Drix, Willie, and Navromery. Towards the rest of you hear both sides of it because you can see and understand what Nithirium is saying. And then you see and hear his translation.
Summarize it. Bullet points.
Yep.
Bullet points.
Two tails. The sign of two tails.
Well, if it would help you, Neth, pretty sure everyone here would want to help you.
It's not asking for myself. That's just secondary benefit. I know we have a lot going on right now, but just want to keep that in mind. And as you shared, RJ, I think the rest of us have to decide at some point if we ever want to do something like that. But I think our current course is the most important thing. You can translate however you want, Fizz.
Yeah. I mean, I do word for word as much as possible because it's not super long.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Wizard speaks up and says, "Magical witch lady, eh? She might have magic that could help us on where we're going. Not
That's true.
She's
By-
been creating these owlbears, other horrendous things. I don't think she's necessarily a nice person.
I don't mean she helps us. I mean we kill her and take her notes, her magical spells, her books.
Astron crystals.
Yes, crystals for Raoul.
I mean, perhaps, I guess.
If she made the bugbear, the owl bear, perhaps she's using
Owls.
crystals to make them.
We have to take her owls too.
Okay.
A lot of speculation, but that, and along with probably other things, Jarius. But we might want to talk with him sometime, and he could share more. He seems
Is it
like
on
a
the way
very,
to
very.
Aircroft, or like where
It's
is?
the same direction. He said.
Okay.
He said east and he said east and south of the mountains. Aircross is east and north in the mountains, so it's in the vicinity.
Yeah. It's on the way. I don't know, Raoul. Would you be willing to do the little detour, or is it something to do on our way back from Aircross?
Well, actually, let me get the map and get Jarius. Maybe that will let people figure out something a bit more.
We're talking about attacking a witch lady who either has Astron crystals or owls that are infused with Astron crystals.
Maybe Jarius can share more.
I
just
Jarius.
wanted to see if we wanted to listen to him, and I think I wanted to let everybody know that I'm certain he has a good heart. He's a good and lawful soul that could definitely is on a quest and could use help.
Breakthrough I need. Of the many breakthroughs I need. There's other breakthroughs I need. One of them being what's in Aerocross.
So many breakthroughs, so much things to study.
Owls infused with Astron crystals.
Try to find where Jarius is right now.
You go and you find him back over at his camp. It looks like he's cooking up some dinner. He looks up and, good evening, Reginald. How are you doing this evening?
Well, we are in the middle of a discussion and might need your help.
Oh, how could I help?
Well, Neth was explaining how you asked if we could do something for you, and we need to figure out where in the area it might be, and we have a map. If you could help us point it out to figure out a route to get to it and to our final destination afterwards.
I mean, I know the areas quite well. I've never really used a map, but I'm sure if I saw it, that might be able to help pinpoint some things. Yeah, I'll come take a look. I'm surprised that she mentioned it to you guys.
Well, it seemed like you were going to help her with something, and we've all been helping each other.
I suppose, yeah. All right. And he comes over to your guys' camp where, by this point, they've laid the map out on the table and gotten, some candlelight to come light it up. Okay, so let's see. From what you explain, and if everybody is in this area, I am zoomed to 160% as a reference for you guys. Whether that helps or not, view how you want, but I'm gonna do some freehand drawing here. Let's see. He says, so we're about here. somewhere in there. And let's see. Well, there's a road. You said you guys are headed to Aracross prison camp. From what I understand, there's a road that goes something like this up to Aracross. It's not very well used. Not really a main road. It's really just used for that. And let's see here. Okay, so that's the lake. That's the river. If we go that way. All I know is that I've seen creatures all along this border. And I've gone as deep as here about and seen creatures. So, my guess be somewhere out in here. Perhaps even a little further east. Would be the source of where they're coming from, considering the trails I've followed. It might take a little hunting, but I'm a very good tracker. And if you all have skill sets as well, and this is a serious idea, we might be able to find some stuff. Now, as far as your way to Aracross, I've been all up and down these mountains in the area looking for stuff concerning my plight. And, well, I don't think you'd be able to get your whole carriage up it, but there is a pass right here between these two mountains. It might be a little bit more of a dangerous climb, but you could probably, without too much difficulty, make your way up that way to Aracross as well. And from what I understand, it might come with a couple benefits, albeit at the risk of the travel itself. You wouldn't be coming directly in. You'd be passing any guard posts or towers along the road up to Aracross. It kind of ends, from what I remember, I didn't travel the whole way thing through, but I got on a couple high peaks you could see off in the distance. It looks like it comes up into a shelf that overlooks Aracross. Again, might be a little tricky getting down, but depending on why you're headed up there, it might be a good vantage point, unless you're going there to be slaves or something, in which case you guys do you. But and Novromi points and he says, and let us see, my ship, it is somewhere east of this river. I know of a crossing somewhere in here. Reginald has said he has spoken to some of you a little bit. I have asked him to come with me. I believe gathering my ship could be of more immediate benefit, provided it is still working. I am not a fighter, I do not know spells, I do not know magic, and a prison camp sounds like a horrible place to go. I cannot protect myself, and so I ask of RJ to come with. I do not know what you all think on that, but we could easily part ways wherever need be. And perhaps even sooner than later. And straight to pass.
Based off of what forgetting his name again, but based off of what he said,
Darius.
Sounds like it'd be safer. Darius. Based off of what Darius said, probably would be safer to leave us sooner rather than later if there's all those animals and the crossings kind of east of where we are right now.
So,
my thought.
Are we thinking to go to Holden, then up the trail, and then veer off to hunt for this witch? Or are we thinking to head east now? It seems like we have to go to Holden first, correct?
Yeah, there is the matter of the owl bears. They need to be delivered.
I do need to deliver
Nope.
that still. Plus, I would need to stock up and supply myself for that sort of a trek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we
I
might
think it
want
would
to,
be-
if...
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say if... Because it sounds like this pass is not going to be possible for a carriage. We might have to leave Drix in either Holden or ask him to meet us in Aracross.
I would
don't know how
rather,
that would go with
I'd rather
Gargoyles.
Drix be in Holden.
Yeah.
Is it
You're
safe
muted.
in Holden? Is it safe in Holden?
Seems like it. Well, Jirai says it's pretty safe there, at least.
Safe
You're
enough.
muted. You mute, Navar.
It's a nice town. I mean, it's got its own local problems like any place, but not being overrun by bandits or anything of that nature.
So we're
I'm pretty
thinking. Go ahead.
I'm thinking that you guys, well, as before I leave with Narumri, I would advise to go to Holden, allow Drix to transport all you guys there, and then start heading to Aracross without him, so Drix can do his little, Drix can trade around, as that's what we promised he'd be able to do, and then veer off and help Jarius.
And I got some improvement ideas on the carriage. Thanks to our old buddy, Mal.
So we're thinking to drive the carriage
Any
up here.
ideas?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got ideas for you.
I'm always looking for ideas, Raul. Let's talk sometime.
Excellent.
And then we travel
Sorry,
this way.
you just said my magic word.
Drix, Raul might need some of that special inspiration grass that you have, and I'll wink at him.
All right. Raul, I know exactly what'll help us come up with some fantastic ideas. Just once we're back on the road in a couple. Once we're back on the road in a couple days, we'll have a thinking sesh.
Don't overdo it with that, please.
Oh, he'll be fine.
I don't know. Have you ever tried it, Raul?
Tried what?
Basically.
Oh, I've done that before. It's fine.
Okay. Go
Problem
ahead
is,
then.
I'm not immune, but I'm kind of resistant to its ability, to its side effects.
We'll sort you on that.
Kind of like the beer. It's kind of like the alcohol I drink.
I'll whisper to Drix. I'm sure you've got something stronger if you need it.
He leans back in. Oh, don't you worry.
Well, so Jarius, I signed this. If you could tell Jarius that sounds like we're willing to help. It might be an advantage.
Yeah, Jarius, I think we're on board with helping you out.
I'm really thankful. I look forward to traveling together. You all seem like nice folks so far, and well, it'll be a nice change. Dangerous area, but I know it well. I'll keep us safe. And if we plan well enough ahead and spend a couple days in Holden getting settled for that sort of a journey, we shouldn't have too much problem. And well, if we're able to find what we need out there, I can help you guys get to Aracross too.
Well, if we're going to be splitting up here, I was thinking this might happen. So I stocked up my alchemy pantry full of potions Fizz, Raoul, Wizroom, could you take the
Mal,
vaporous
you
potion?
mean Mal, right?
Yes, Mal. Sorry. Mal, Raoul, Wizroom, can you take those potions? There's some of them that are vaporous. And can you use those when Nithirn or any of you are in battle? It'll either give you guys shields, or one of them will make you guys bigger.
Have you marked them?
Yes, I have marked them all.
Damn it.
And
Finding out what they are is half the fun.
that would be dangerous. Mal, and this is for Mal, you, Raoul, and Drix. I've made a supply of potions that turn water into wine or mead. Have fun.
Hell!
Ah.
We're gonna be making some coin off of that, I think.
Whatever you want to do with it, or if you want to drink it all. Though it's a lot of.
I don't really feel like touching the stuff right now.
I'll touch it for you.
I don't know who to trust the money with. That's the thing. I know Nith won't take the money. Fizz, would you be willing to take the money? Or Mal, will you be willing to keep an eye on the money and make sure it's used for the group?
Why? Gladly.
Sense motive.
Hey.
I don't have any sense motive, but I'm still doing sense motive.
Yeah. Roll it.
Oh, yeah, he is like Mr. Trustworthy.
Wizard says, "Don't worry. If I see him spending things stupidly, I've got your back, RJ."
Perfect.
All right, understood.
And Wizroom, here is the bag of holding. If they find something interesting, put it in here and make sure it's protected.
All right.
And what else? Here is the metal box. It has the Paragon in it. Paragon. Make sure it's safe.
And the sword.
And here is the sword. And Nith, I know you don't like wearing things, but I worry about you since you're always in the front lines. Can you wear this for me? It's just a ring that'll give you a bit more armor. Or a bracelet.
No, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yep.
All right.
Maybe Raoul or Mal could use it.
It'll be in the carriage. And I'll leave my Cloak of Resistance in the carriage too if anyone wants to use it. We've been having a lot of problems with poisons and things that might affect especially our hearing. And yeah. And I place all this stuff here in the carriage.
If you could get a list of all that in the chat for us.
Could you just grant us all access to his character sheet, maybe?
Nope. I have stuff in there that is not for you.
Okay.
So, if anyone is individually taking any of these things right now, make sure that you write it down and then just like type what you've taken or something. And
why don't you create a little thing?
Yeah, I'll do that. Let's see. Characters, Coin Guard. It'll be under, I guess it'll just be at the top of that. So handout.
That money that you put in, that's the party money, right?
Technically, it's mostly my money now. Which is hilarious.
It's Mal's now.
Yeah.
No. I'll know, put it back wherever you were keeping it in the caravan.
Oh, was
If
it
you
in
don't
the...
tell me how much of it is parties, though, I'm assuming it's all the parties.
Oh, that's how RJ was spending it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, there is the master list. You can all edit that. So that is where you can keep track of things that you just have in general as the party amongst yourselves, but like maybe left on the carriage or whatever. So if you're going to be actively carrying it consistently on your person, make sure you write that on your character sheet somewhere and remove it from this list. Otherwise,
Please
I will
actively
assume it
carry the
is.
potions.
Yeah. Otherwise, I will assume it is in the carriage if it comes into question, and you don't have it on
Can
your
we
sheet.
edit this and maybe just put like carriage inventory or something like that?
Yeah, you can rename it to whatever you want.
Oh, okay. Are people okay with that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Makes
Nithir,
sense.
so you can do whatever you want.
And
Nithir's
that
not
is-
interested in any of it.
And that is, as far as the journal is concerned, under characters in the Acorn Guard, and it's at the top above all of the subfolders for the people and animals and stuff.
Okay.
If you have to go find it later.
What are these bracelets of forceful protection? RJ.
Basically, armor bracelets.
Okay.
+1.
And what's
Yeah,
a paragon
+1.
of polation?
Pollination.
That's the compass.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. The spinny thing that you used.
You guys wouldn't mind if I
Funny.
take the animals with us, would you? Considering that I'm going to be by myself, I'd like to have a bit of protection as well.
You want to take the dogs?
The dogs, and maybe Taween. I don't think you need a squirrel in those camps.
You want to take Towing Squirrel?
Taween squirrel, if you don't mind.
That's fine.
I mean,
It's not like.
I'm,
Do you
I'm-
guys
I'm
know
work-
how the commands for the dogs?
I'm working on it. I've been doing a little bit of reading here and there.
We can leave the animals with us. It's fine. Towing Squirrel.
I mean, he can take the dog.
Take the dogs and keep the squirrel.
Pretty close with the dogs, more than any of us, I think.
Yeah.
Or do you just want to have Taween with you to try to bribe him some more?
Well, I've been training him.
Yes, you have been
Actively.
training him. Mal has been trying to bribe him to make him like him better. I'm
gonna like him. I'm gonna make him like me by freeing him from his squirrel-like body. Someday.
Okay. if you guys want to keep Taween with you, I don't mind, but just make sure he's not hurt while you're going to
Yeah.
the dangerous
Well,
area.
we'll let Drix keep an eye on him while we go to Eric. I don't think we've got a cage on board. He's not gonna be able to run away. I mean, you wouldn't be able to lug that cage around, I don't think.
I think Taween could probably bend those bars if he wanted to get out.
Yeah, but we're feeding him, and Drix will feed him, and he's less likely to escape from us than he will be from you when you're going through the forest, I think.
Well, if that's what you guys think. But yeah, the dogs will be nice company as well. What do you think,
Yeah.
Homer?
That is
You're on
fine.
mute. Oh,
Ah,
you're
Oh.
good. Sorry.
that
it
is
just
fine.
delayed.
I am fine with dogs. But yeah. They might not like the sky much, but that is another problem to get to eventually.
That'll be perfect, then I can train them while we're there.
If all else fails, should we set a meet spot?
Shall we
time?
go? Well, you said that we could use that island near Opportunity to park your ship, right, Novomori? And
Yes,
that island
it can be docked there, yes, and be hidden.
and that has a teleport to Opportunity, right?
The ship? No.
No, the island.
Yes, between the island and Opportunity, but it is not far from Opportunity. Perhaps just a few hours. It has to be close.
No.
Well, no, I'd have to disagree with you there.
Trust me, I put it there. It is only a couple hours away.
I don't know.
Well, I did not put it there,
walk.
but perhaps you got
But
lost.
what you're suggesting is we could meet at the island. If need be, is there a way for us to operate the teleporter from the ground to the island to meet you there? Or leave or message you from there?
Not before I get back, no. The helper in the embassy is set to specific commands. I would need to get back to change those.
So that would be our clue. So
Yes.
if we couldn't find each other and we go back to Opportunity and you have been there, can you
It will
give
be
commands
changed.
and we could go to the island? If you're
Yeah.
there or not there, can we contact you from the island to your ship?
If you return to Opportunity and I have
After
not
you.
been back, if I have not been back, let me say this first. There is nothing you can do. It will not let you up. It will not understand. It will want to do business transaction and nothing more. That is clue. I have not been to Opportunity again. Otherwise, yes, it will be able, once I am there, I shall set it to allow you and your group to get up to the islet where I will park ship, and me and Reginald will wait for you. But once we get ship and we get it underway, depending on how long all of that takes, it would not be very long. It is very fast, much faster than this sort of travel that we do here. We could fly over Aracrost and check for you. If we do not find you, we got an Opportunity.
That's what I'm thinking. It's a backup if we can't find each other. Go ahead.
If we make it back to Opportunity, but have to leave before you get there, is the attendant capable of holding a note for its master, or no?
Let me think. If I have not returned and you beat me there is... Oh no, that does not work. Outside the front door, in front of steps, on actual city street, carve an X on the ground or something. Make some sort of mark in the stone that could not be made by mistake.
Okay.
There is only way. The embassy, aside from taking the crystals back and forth, it refreshes every day.
So, how would we, if we left this mark, how would you know where we have gone to if we go somewhere?
Where would you go?
That we don't know.
Don't know.
Well, you could
How
look
about
if
this?
If you're leaving somewhere, you could leave it with the Shaper, and I can go pick it up. If you're not at
That's true.
Opportunity.
Assuming the Shapers are still there.
Yeah.
Is there someone else within Opportunity that you trust to leave message with?
Drix, do you know someone?
I mean, I got trade contacts, but I don't know that I'd trust them folk.
Why not that blacksmith that Talene was talking to?
Yeah, he seemed pretty honest in his work.
Yeah, and he's been there for a long time.
So,
Yeah.
If
if
we leave
there's
a
an
mark-
X,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So if we leave a mark, the X on the steps out front, then go and speak with the armorer, and I'll.
Which
Right, his name.
RJ knows this armorer, yes?
I believe so.
No, I don't think
I've
you
been
went
there.
with us, but I can give you his name.
I don't know his name, but I was there.
He
Or
was there, we just don't remember the name.
we
Michael
leave
Smith.
a message at a inn. Have secret names. Only us would know.
Oh wait, Mal, don't you still have a couple uses of birds that leave messages?
He's looking at his vest. Nope, I used all those. But I know of a place. If the Vith are still in town, I know of a place where I buy some. So, I mean, that yes,
What?
that does solve the problem.
What are these bird things you're talking about?
They send a message to somebody, and
Like-
the person can reply.
I can make those, probably. I would need to research the spell, but if I could get the spell or buy it or find it, I could probably make something that does that.
Oh, you should study Mal's cloak then. It has a bunch of magic on it.
Not those anymore, though.
Yeah, it's a little hard to learn backwards from magic in an item.
That's
Doesn't
true.
quite work like that.
So there's
I can
three
see it.
options. You could find us.
Yeah.
We could send a message. If we leave a mark, go talk to the armor.
Sounds good.
I like it.
I'll give the armorer's name to. I can't remember.
William Smith.
Michael Smith.
Michael Smith, but it says William here.
William.
Oh. Yes, William. William Michael Smith. Well, this is Jiraiya speaking. Sounds like we've got quite the complicated plan ahead of us.
Oh, it's not that complicated.
That plan's
We've got worse.
just in case.
Yeah.
That's true. What will be more complicated is finding a witch in the woods.
Yeah.
I think you guys will be fine. Make sure you protect yourselves, though. You no longer have bombs that heal you. You will no longer have a person in front to take the brunt of the damage. And then RJ just starts lecturing about keeping safe for like 10 minutes straight.
When you're done, Jiraiya says, as long as I am with them, I am fairly an upfront fighter. I can... If we get into any scuffles on our way, I can try and stay in front.
That would be helpful. But, Mal, make sure you don't walk in front of people. You cannot take a hit.
And the lecture
man.
continues.
Yep, we ended like a night of lecturing and rivalry and
Raoul doesn't understand his lecturing since he's never fought with these guys yet.
no, he hasn't got a clue.
But it gives you the impression that Mal Fizz is always jumping in front of danger, and no one's ever up front, and everyone's always almost dead.
Other than that, we're fine.
TPK next session. TPK.
The little guy is your tank?
You are now, my friend.
You got a problem with that, Raoul? I am stronger than I look.
Strong of body, right, Raoul?
I know how to take care of myself. I know that much.
Well, you can take care of yourself in front of everybody.
1-on-1, I'm great. You get 2-on-1, I'm out. Yeah.
Well, I'll have to try
Those are
and
on
keep
your
them
own.
funneling in. Okay. Nithya is pretty light on her feet too, so I'm sure she could stand with you, Raoul, and hold her own, and I'll
Good at
make sure
hitting
that
things.
make sure that they're blind, or try to hit them with a couple crossbow bullets.
So, your conversation and lectures go on. A plan is made. Jarius seems very pleased and confident. A lot more upbeat than you've seen him since you've known him up to this point. Hopeful is the word I'm looking for. And eventually, everybody finds their way to sleep. Couple of people a little bit more passed out on booze from tonight's farewell celebrations, Drix included amongst that. And everyone settles in. Nithyan, as
Yeah, that's a bad roll.
as everyone settles into sleep, and you see RJ lying in the cot, bags packed at the foot of the bed, alchemy workstation still there, but things are missing already, and you can tell the difference. The scattered about papers and vials and half worked on concoctions are all neat and tidy and put away. The countertop is clear. And you kneel down and close your eyes and reach out to Reginald. RJ.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. You do it.
I was going to set the scene real quick.
Go ahead.
RJ. Your dream brings you to that day that you had to leave home the first time. That feeling of worry and trepidation that you had, knowing you were going to go out, leave what you've known behind, leave your family, your friends, in search of something better, something that might help them. You find yourself sitting in your old little workshop where you had your doctor's practice. As Nithyan opens the door, you can see that Reginald has his little pack, the same one he carries today. sitting on the desk at the front. And he looks ready. He's got a walking stick in his hands, a youthful exuberance in his eye.
RJ, Nithyan walks in, and you've seen her in really nice outfits before. But this is probably the grandest outfit you've seen her in up to this point. And I'm not sure how to describe it, except that it's probably something she doesn't even know why it was selected in her dreams. But it's something that she probably used when she was very nervous or preparing to do something extravagant. And she walks in. RJ. She kind of glides in. May we talk?
Evening, Neth.
Good evening. I hope I'm not bothering you.
Never.
Looks like you're packed up here too.
It's the day I left.
You left your
But
home.
this time it's not me worrying about what's going to happen in the future. Now it's me worrying about what's happening in your guys' future. You guys are going to be okay, right?
Of course. Although it will be very different without you. You know why we're doing what we're doing, don't you?
It'll be crazier.
Yeah.
I think you guys will do.
Okay, go ahead, finish.
But you guys will still keep doing good. I know you guys will still keep doing good.
But
the world has too much going wrong with it that the only thing to balance it is to do good.
Yeah, I see that. But you know, I don't think we'd be doing any of this if it wasn't for you.
I think you will. Every person eventually finds the calling that they belong to. Look at Raoul. He said he was a bandit once, and now he's a researcher.
It's true.
Fizz was wallowing his life in little town, doing things that he didn't want to do, and eventually he became a bard and is now traveling to make the world a better place, one song at a time, right?
It's true.
Everyone eventually comes to a crossroads, and I believe they always choose the path that works for them the best, even though they have to try it over and over again.
That's the part that I don't know. I keep looking and looking and looking for something. I know it's got to be there, but I don't see it.
Sometimes the thing that you're looking for, you already found, and it's just been there this whole time.
Yeah.
And because it's been there this whole time, you never notice it.
Perhaps. I know the things that make me happy. Fortunately, the things that really bring me the most joy, I can only experience in times like this. But when we're awake, well, when you're awake, I experience a purpose with everybody here in all their various ways. It just fits. Odd shapes that fit together perfectly. But none of them are the same.
That's true.
I think I'll maybe someday understand. Because I left my home knowing that I had to look. where I was really nice. My sensei's a good teacher, a good sensei. We have a strong bond. But it was in a box. And I knew that to find myself, I had to get outside that box.
I understand that.
And I haven't found myself yet. But I'm going to keep looking.
Are you sure you haven't found yourself yet? I think I see, whenever we're together, a strong woman who wants to protect the balance and protect her friends. Isn't that who you are now?
Seems the right thing to do.
They said sometimes what you're looking for has always just been there. You just have to accept it. Hopefully your travels with Jarius and those bugbears. There's still a bit of hesitation when he says bugbears, because he's worried that they might betray you guys, because he still doesn't fully trust them. Hopefully their shamanistic magics will help you look a bit more inwards as well.
Hey, it's worth trying. I'm hesitant, but I think the greater gain is really to help him. There's more to him than what you see, but for sure what's there is good.
Mm-hmm. What does Rebel always do? Leave no experiment undone, or make sure you do all the experiments. So
even means playing with poop.
I hope he washes his hands.
Yeah. I'll make sure he does.
Make sure you protect them all. And well, I'll see you in the skies one day.
Oh, I know this is not goodbye. This is see you later.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still difficult. I didn't get to say goodbye to my sensei when I left, because he wouldn't have let me leave, I don't think. And I don't want to say goodbye to you, either.
Then we don't have to.
I just want to say, be careful.
Same to you.
When we're apart, we won't be able to share this time, so I'm hoping that maybe you could give me one more beautiful thought, beautiful dream. Is there anything you can think of?
And I think of the times that Neth, RJ, Fizz, and Taween spent on the road with Fizz's music playing throughout the whole time, accompanied by Drix and a grumbling Wizroom. You're muted, Fred.
As the scene shifts around you to a scene that you're very used to in your waking day, but for the first time, Nithir, you get to hear the grumbles of Wizrun. You hear Fizz's music at the front, along with Drix's occasional guitar and egging on of the horses. And you hear what it was like to be there, even though you were there, in a totally new light.
I close my eyes and try to take the most of it.
As you soak in all of the sounds, RJ, you see around you that the carriage begins to again shift after some time. It becomes more angular, more ornate, a different carriage. It looks lush with red velvet coating on the inside. You see Nithirn ears pull back to a shorter set. Her features become less sharp and angular. She's wearing the same extravagant outfit, but now sitting next to another Vith. A boy. Probably not much older than herself. They look anxious as you can hear the carriage where the music has faded, traveling, sticks breaking beneath it. You can see out the side window a forest, dark and dense and deep. And you're traveling at quite the speed, bumpy, dodging and weaving between the trees. Then you hear Reginald, and for you, Nithirn, you're just lost in Fizz's music. And that's what you stay with. But RJ, you see arrows begin to hit into the side of the carriage around you. You hear something fall, likely the driver, off the front seat outside. And then you see wild elves, wood elves, burst through the door, grab them both, and drag them off into the night. Then there's one last little tune of Fizz's song before your dream fades and you wake up in the morning.
And when I wake up, I go see Neth and try to explain her dream a bit.
I don't know what you mean. We were listening to the music in the camp.
We are.
Fizz's music.
We were. But the dream changes because of who you are. Just be careful. We have to be careful when we go. You. And if you work at it, they'll eventually get it back.
Maybe someday. But I don't really ever dream, so.
Maybe that's the reason why you're the dreamers you enter. See what you might be dreaming if you could. But your memories are trying to tell you once more, but can't.
Perhaps.
A point of clarification, Reginald, when you say you explain the dream to her, what specifically do you say?
I explained that she was traveling through the woods with another Vith elf around her age. And that in that dream, since I probably wouldn't remember everything, she was taken away from that carriage by the end. Unless I couldn't remember all that?
No, you can remember the dream fully.
Okay, then I explained in detail what happened, like the arrows, the how ornate the carriage is that I'm pretty sure that she, in a previous life, may have been high nobility, but she was taken away with that carriage.
Don't know what that means. High nobility. The other boy was a Vith?
Was it a Vith or an elf? But looked like a Vith. Your faces were softer, younger.
And I looked different?
Yeah. Like I said, your face was softer, it looked younger.
That's interesting. A memory of me being a Vith.
Seems like it. Then again, you kind of look similar to a Vith to me right now. So it might just be me. I haven't met any other. What did the Shaper call them? The Elders? So I have no frame of reference to see if you look different because of who you are or because you're part of this group of people.
Well, I know Eldrin have come from past lives. Eldrin are completely different than Vith. But that's interesting. I'll have to try to explore that more. Maybe this mushroom thing will help.
Maybe. Make sure you have a bottle nearby so you can puke anything out in case it has a bad reaction to you.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
And with that, I do my morning stuff and start talking to Navromri about leaving.
Yep, he is packed and ready to go. He says, I am good to travel when you are. He is waiting at the edge of camp for you.
Ready whenever you are as well. I'm sure they're going to be okay, right?
They are strong. They will make it. Plus, they want to see my ship. I know it. They will come to see ship.
Yeah, you're right.
And together, in the early hours of the morning, with much of the camp still asleep, the dew on the grassy fields around you, the embers in the campfire, and the cool breeze of a fall day ahead of you. The leaves on the trees beginning to turn slightly brown and yellow and orange and red. The short dwarf, Navromri, and the short gnome, Reginald, walk off.
Big-ass dogs.
Yep, and 4 big-ass dogs.
That they could ride.
All make their way east into the rising sun. And that is where we'll end this session.
Bye, RJ!
Bye! Did you guys like your little, each of your own little separate scenes with RJ at the end there?
Yeah.
Yes. It was
And the nag. There had to be the nag.